Welcome to the Rich Lady Revolution, redefining rich with Diane McKendrick. Hey, lovely lady, I see you. You're an ambitious, high-achieving woman, driven, passionate, and ready for more. More money, more impact, more freedom. This is the place where women just like you come together from all over the world to break the old rules and redefine what it truly means to be rich. Because being a rich lady is about so much more than money. Joining the Rich Lady Revolution with those two sisters is about more than the money in your bank account. It's about building wealth on your terms, doing what you love, with who you love, and creating a life that feels as good as it looks. It's about stepping into your unshakable power and purpose. This podcast, combined with my 5th book, is your personal invitation to step into your rich lady identity. I will be here to educate, inspire, and empower you along the way, to support you to cut the crap, do the thing, and be the rich lady you were born to be. So if you are ready to elevate your income, your impact, and your life, the revolution starts now. Hello, and welcome. My name is Diane McKendrick, and in this powerful episode of the Rich Lady Revolution, the podcast, we are sharing part of the Rich Lady Roadmap. We're deep diving into checkpoint number 4, which is sacred sales, where your offers stop feeling like pitches and start becoming portals. This is where business meets soul strategy, and where business meets the soul, and strategy meets surrender. And every offer you share becomes an energetic invitation into your world. If you've ever felt resistance to selling or questioned how to stay in your feminine flow whilst building meaningful money and wealth, then this episode is very likely your next breakthrough. I'll take you behind the scenes of how I structure and sanctify my offers so they feel magnetic, aligned, and very easeful. So ladies, no more hustle, no more proving, simply anchored energy, soulful leadership, and expressive service for which you charge a fair exchange. So this has absolutely been one of my favorite things to deliver on in the Rich Lady Roadmap, because we have set it up so we are taking you through the checkpoints step by step in the correct order. So you may be listening to this because you are part of the Rich Lady Roadmap, and this is the long form content that supports all the other pieces that we give you. Or perhaps you're coming in fresh, just listening to this podcast because you've scrolled through and been like, oh, sales, I want to know about that. So whatever. Wherever you are is perfect. And yeah, let's deep dive into it. So as I said, this is checkpoint 4 inside the Rich Lady Roadmap, and it's a big one. It's one of the most powerful transformational pieces of the entire journey. And I got to deliver parts on this on my Rich Lady Revolution, the membership call today. And I can guarantee by the time we hold our call next Tuesday, it's already starting to happen this afternoon. People are making sales, creating products, ideas, services. One lady in particular, not in a position to start her own business, still with young kids at home and a full-time job, but she's looking into and starting to sell in an affiliate business model and structure. So she does what she loves with who she loves. She shares her experience, whether it's of the retreats, of working with us. And then when her friends, family, colleagues, people sign up, she gets a portion of that. And there's a couple of other products that she uses that she swears by in her journey, and she's sharing that, and then she gets a percentage. So you can make a whole business model on simply sharing the products that you use with your friends, family, followers, colleagues, everybody out there. And every time they make a purchase through that business, you get paid money. And that's what I'm about doing. That's what the whole Rich Lady Revolution is about. Ding dings, getting money into your account, doing what you love with people you love, and receiving that money into your account whilst you're away on retreat, or you're at the beach with the kids, or you're doing skill pickup or drop off if that's what's meaningful to you and what you want. So This is one of the things that's made the biggest difference, not only in my business, but also my energy, my relationships, and my ability to truly serve from this place of overflow. So, today, yes, we are talking about sales, and I want to say this from the outset. This is not a pitch, or when you're thinking about sales, I don't want you to think about it as a pitch or you're trying to get someone or you're talking, people are walking wallets. It's like it's a portal, it's an opportunity for deeper connection. It's an opportunity to contribute to somebody's life in a way that perhaps no one ever has before. So if you are already inside the Rich Lady Roadmap, just remember this podcast is the long form content and we go deeper into checkpoint 4. So you're going to have the step by step, and the order is important. So if you remember in the Rich Lady Roadmap, we had checkpoint 1 is self-worth, the worth factor. So you will not ever, and this is relevant in sales as well, you will not ever out earn your self-worth. So if your self-worth is crummy, like most people are because of society and the way that it's been set up, you're not going to make the money that you deserve, and that is your birthright, basically. So take you through some really powerful processes to increase that financial thermostat, to really connect into our self-worth and raise it from the core. We set new empowering truths, and we go through a whole bunch of processes in short little 5-minute increments to change it in your body, in your brain, and in your being. So once we've increased the self-worth, raised the internal thermostat, that's when we do the next model on structure. And Michelle Ann delivers on this one. The structure will set you free. So there's a podcast on that. And then within the roadmap, we go through and give a little bit more of the how. This is what you do. This is how you set it up. That's why you do it. And then we support you to actually set things up so your money can work for you. Then we move on to the next part of the roadmap, which is the strategy for spiritual women. So many people come to me and tell me, Diane, you're too fluffy, you're too spiritual, you're not strategic enough. And once again, this is probably one of my favorites. I think I say that about every module, but I can't give too much away. But if you listen to the podcast, do what you love with who you love and get paid for it. Literally, you'll be making a fire, making a cup of coffee or cacao to elicit and pull out your blueprint on how you do strategy, and then weaving that into your business instead of trying to learn a whole new language or learn the best strategy from the gurus out there. You do strategy really well in the things that you value and you love, and I just help you pinpoint exactly what that is and then model it over to your business. And then, yeah, checkpoint 4 is sacred sales. It's not a pitch, it's a portal. So we are going deep into that. So if you're just tuning in and you haven't joined the roadmap yet, honestly, what are you waiting for? It's only $47. I'll put the link in the show notes. And as I just shared, the roadmap walks you step by step through the sacred checkpoints to help you create a life and business of profit and peace. So that's got a really big part in our new messaging. It's all about profit, like making meaningful money, doing what you love with who you love, and peace, getting those love codes, being able to sleep really well, having great relationships. Because what we were noticing in the industry is most women had one or the other. Loads of money, but then they were super unhealthy, or their relationships are falling apart, or they're not sleeping well, and their personal life is in tatters. Or, you have this really loving, peaceful demeanor, but you've got no friggin' money and you can't afford to buy anything for yourself to keep investing in yourself. So we bring both of those, the love codes and the money codes, together. And I tell you what, it's very fulfilling to watch when it lands for someone. Their whole entire life changes in an instant, in a moment. So if you're not on the Rich Lady Roadmap yet, you probably could be. If you wanted to be, send me a DM and we'll get you in. It's that easy. Otherwise, go down below and you'll see in the show notes. We'll put the link in there for you. So let's begin with the transmission behind this module. And you would have heard this a million times before, but I'm going to say it again. Sales is not about pushing, and it is not about pressure. In this new paradigm, sales, if you've got a pen and paper, write this down. Sales is a sacred service. It's about connection, It's about being deeply present with the person in front of you, whether you meet that person in a coffee line, on a phone call, online on your computer, at a speaking event, wherever it is, being present with that person in front of you and actually giving a shit and caring about them and their life and their journey. It's about tuning into your body and offering from a place of overflow, not from a place of desperation, which I've seen plenty of times out there, particularly in the coaching industry. When you've got to sell something to pay your rent, it feels very different to when you're selling from overflow. So when you learn to sell from overflow and from alignment, whether your external environment is that or not, and you can access it on the inside, you're not just making money, you're activating a new identity. You are shifting timelines, not just for you, but also for your client. So that's a pretty solid responsibility. Let me say that again. You're activating when you're learning to sell from alignment and from internal overflow. You're not just making money, which you will. Yes, please, and thank you. You are activating a new identity within yourself. You are shifting timelines for both yourself and your client. This is big work. So today, I want you to think about selling not as a task or something extra on your to-do list, but as a spiritual practice, a space to practice deep leadership, a chance to stand in your truth with things that matter to you and say, I have something that could change your life forever. Are you ready? And I'm speaking to you ladies out there. I just had a couple of my one-on-ones once a month on a Tuesday. My Queens Club get their one-on-ones, and I've got some of them starting their podcasts, some of them writing their books, really leaving legacy pieces in the world. And I said to one of them today, I want you to remember when you're getting derailed with all the old patterning and the brain's telling you that you can't do it and looking for excuses and examples, that your book or your message, and this is to you listening to this podcast as well, is not just going to change lives. It is very likely, with the type of women we work with, is going to save people's lives. So then it becomes a must to create the product or service that's sitting on your heart, to build it out and to position yourself so you can sell it, or you set it up in a scalable model so it sells itself. So are you ready? Are you ready to start looking at and approaching sales as a portal to the new identity and the new timeline instead of a pitch and being pushy and forcing? Because you need to make that call. You need to answer that question. I cannot do it for you. So I'm going to ask you outright and upfront, are you ready? If you are ready, listen on. If you are not ready, press pause or stop and go and listen to something else. So you've got to choose it. All right, so I'm going to go in before I actually give the framework and the content, the sacred 7 sales sequence, trademarked to moi, and the process I've used to build multi-million-dollar business and empire, and taught and shown and coached and educated so many other young professionals that I'm going to share in a moment, and then we'll dive deeper into that in the roadmap. I'm going to talk about the 3 biggest mistakes I see that women make in sales. So let's talk about that, because I think from what I've noticed, this is where people get stuck. Mistake number 1, and I mentioned it earlier, is selling from scarcity. And I know I've done this, I've coached people that have done it, but it's a big mistake a lot of people make. Like I said earlier, your external environment's going to be doing something, but you've got to ensure that the internal environment, the core, is one of overflow and pure presence and love and genuine authenticity. Otherwise, when you sell from scarcity, the outcome that you get is a little bit questionable. Let's say it like that. So trying to make the sale because you need the money or you need to pay your rent or you should, or because the coach told you to do it because you're in a challenge, in a month-long sales challenge and you're doing it, but I've done this too because the coach told you you should, but it's not feeling authentic or aligned to you. That energy is heavy and it actually repels people. So instead, what we do is we shift into a fuel or a core of service. Simply by asking yourself, how can I genuinely help this person right now in this moment? And often, if the answer doesn't come straight away, it's just about listening to them, hearing for their problems, and then offering a solution. And then you charge for it, charge accordingly for it. So mistake number one, selling from scarcity because your coach told you to, or because you need to pay your rent, or because you just, in that old paradigm of push force. I need it now. Let's do it. Mistake number two, I've done this as well. I did this with doTERRA. I didn't realize I was doing it until the day that I did, and it changed. Hiding behind the product. We think if we talk enough about the features and the inclusions, that you don't have to talk about yourself. But remember, what I want you to remember is that people are buying you. They're buying your energy, your certainty, your embodiment. So, a little story here. When I used to work for doTERRA, for those of you who've been around for a while now, you remember Michelle and I used to be called the Oil Sisters. And we were in doTERRA, which is a network marketing company for essential oils. We still use the oils, but we built up very quickly and got quite high up in the company pretty rapidly. And then as the cracks started to show, because it wasn't in deep authenticity, because I was realizing in order to make a certain wage, I had to rely on other people's performance, commitment, devotion to the product, to the process. And I didn't like that because not everybody or very few people were as committed as I were. And I found myself, looking for little ways to support and coach these people who actually just didn't really want it. So I started to get frustrated with that and become a bit of a victim and blamed other people until one day I was like, no, I don't want to rely on other people for my monthly income, on their behaviors, on their performance, on their commitment levels. I'm going to do this myself. Because as you know, in network marketing, they'll often encourage you to give away your coaching for free. You're coaching your team. So things that I charge $1,500 for now, I was giving to my team for free. Now, what that created was a lack of respect and understanding for my time, my skills, and my ability. And a small handful of those people would go on to do very well, the ones that were committed and devoted. But a lot of the other huge percentage of people who just weren't ready or weren't at that caliber yet, just sort of pissed it up against the wall, really. And it was heartbreaking for me to see that the coaching style and skill that I had given to somebody who was ready and would meet me there and run with it could catapult someone into the stratosphere with their results, whereas other people would not take it seriously. So I decided one day that I was going to stop doing that. And I realized in that moment I was hiding behind the product. As long as I'm selling an essential oil, if something goes wrong or they're not happy with something, it's not Diane McKendrick, the name, the face, the brand, the presence that they're going to attack or want their money back or have a conversation with. It was going to be doTERRA. I always had them, you could send them on to someone else for that sort of stuff. And honestly, guys, the day that I realized that, I was like, oh, it was quite confronting, but it was also a huge relief because then I realized I just had to set my business up so I could have the structure to support myself, to support my sales, to support the people, and not have to rely on anything or anyone externally to me to build the life and design the life that I desired. So, mistake number two is hiding behind the product. Just have a look through your memory bank and see perhaps where you've done that or where you're currently doing that. And mistake number three, see this all the time. I experience myself at times as well. Granted, definitely more in the past than I do now. I'm pretty confident in the way that I show up with what I've got to offer. Mistake number three is avoiding the invitation. So many women, they'll do all the connection, all the nurturing, all the build up, and then they just don't make an offer. Your clients are waiting for you to lead, or your potential clients are waiting for you to lead, and the offer isn't an activation. We actually call our offers activated offers. We changed all the language throughout our business because often the price point when you're changing timelines, when you're committing to different people and new things, it is an activation for people. It's a huge activation to go and spend, our retreats, for example, $3,000 to $5,000 and 3 or 4 days away from your family. That's not normal for most people. It's an activation. On the call this morning, we were talking about someone who basically textbook went through the process I'm about to share with you, the Sacred 7 sales sequence that you're going to get here. and nobody else gets it apart from our closed groups. When I explained it and I got them to go through their memory bank and remember these points and as they came through with it and how it felt and what worked for them, what didn't work for them, what felt good, what didn't feel good, so they could create their own version of this. 3 years it took her from the moment she met us, connected with us, had a conversation, received something of contribution from us. Then there was a check-in, a phone call, a taste tester, the offer, and that took 3 years. So just remember, it doesn't happen overnight, but if you are consistent and you care and you're following the process, it's very likely that the majority of your connections will turn into some form of exchange because we're humans and that's the way that we operate. So those 3 mistakes: selling from scarcity, hiding behind the product, and avoiding the invitation. Make sure you give the activated offer and you're very bold and confident and upfront. If they say yes, great, onboard them. If they say no, great, close the loop. Okay, so let's go. To help you move through these mistakes or things that are commonly done in sales, I personally created the Sacred 7 sales sequence. This is my personal method, and it's been responsible for hundreds of thousands of dollars, probably even millions now in our business, in aligned sales and deep life-changing transformation. So do not discount this because you're getting it in the Rich Lady Roadmap, a $47 product, or for free on the podcast. Because this is the exact thing, the process that I've start from the beginning been through. I didn't always know that I was doing it like this, but recently when we were getting some sales performance and performance coaching, I was having a bit of a meltdown to Michelle one day and I was like, oh, I'm just, really confused. I don't know what I do. All these people are coming to me to learn sales because I'm really good at it and it works really well and it's very organic and natural. But I didn't have it in a structure or a framework or a system. I was just being very intuitively guided. So she sat there with me over an hour call and I was hooting and hollering and crying and frustrated and angry and all these things. And she just kept pulling it out of me. Like she just coached me and was, what's next? And then what's next? And then what's next? And then I was like, now we need to make it easy to remember. So we changed the words to all start with C. So it's the 7 C's. And the first, I'm going to just give a really quick overview here on the podcast. And then if you want more of the how to do this, then that's over there in the Rich Lady Roadmap. Obviously, but that's a 4-week self-paced online course. It's going to change your life. And then the option, I usually quite close to doing that is people consider the Rich Lady Revolution, the membership, which is $150 a month, where you actually get the one-on-one coaching from me. Well, not one-on-one coaching, one-to-many. So group coaching where Michelle and I have a group of you on there and we take you through this process. We pick accountability buddies. We give you the structure. We give you the step-by-step, this, all the information required and needed. And then 7 days to go and complete it and follow it up. And then you're held accountable the next week. So that's the membership. It's very powerful and life-changing. And yeah, that's available to you all as well, should you feel that's the path you want to take with us. So here's a really quick overview. I'm going to go through it. The Sacred 7 sales sequence that Michelle helped me draw out over many tears. The first one is connection. So the first C is connection. Actually, I'll run through them all. Connection, conversation, contribution, check-in, call, convert, celebrate. So write all those down and then I'm going to go through and explain each of these before I go pick my kids up from school. So connection, be human, be present, be open. This could be in a coffee line. This could be online on social media. It could be speaking to the lady in the bank. I recently had someone sign up for a Divine Hypnotics, which is $1,500 for the 7 days with me. So you get an hour with me, 7 days integration because a lot changes in that hour. And then you get your own customized divine hypnosis spoken in your language with your challenges, overcoming your blockages, and it is very powerful. Anyway, she's probably listening to this. I was talking to her the other day and I was like, where did we actually meet? And she reminded me that a couple of years ago, I'd called Amy Insurance, and the Amy on the other end of the line from Amy Insurance heard me, liked what I did, went and looked up my stuff, bought my book, kept following, and is now stepping into the programs with us. So very likely she'll listen to this. Hi, Amy from Amy. Okay, so connection. Every place you go, every human you talk to is someone that could be potentially a client for you if they're the right person. So just genuinely care about people with curiosity, just listen to them. And the first question you want to ask yourself is, would I want to invite, or do I like this person? Do I like this person? There's enough people in the world. You don't have to work with people that you don't like with or don't have similar values. Because what I've found by watching and my own experience is if the values are different and if you're not really quite matched like a chicken soup for the soul client, then there's usually a little bit of argy-bargy or a little bit of discord amongst it. And ain't nobody got time for that. You know, I'm good at what I do and I want to be able to just be very efficient and help as many people as I can. So connection, be human, be present, be open, ask yourself, do I like this person? Would I invite them over for dinner? Sometimes sales can be quite transactional depending on your product. You know, if you're in e-com, this isn't as necessarily, but if you're in running retreats and you're going to spend a couple of days with people, would you want that person at your dinner table? If you're going to be in 6-month packages with someone or a membership, with a no close date on it, no contract. So you're going to want to, you know, keep hanging out with that person. So 1, connection. 2, conversation. Get curious, ask questions, listen with more than your ears. So once again, you can sort of pinpoint, have you been through this journey with us? Can you remember connecting with us? Can you remember having a conversation where, you know, myself, Michelle, eventually one of our salespeople, our team, get curious and we just ask questions and just listen. Curiosity, just genuinely curious. Then the next thing after you've had a conversation with someone, whether it's in person or online again, is contribution, sharing something of value. So a lot of you that are listening to this, if you've talked to me in person, sometimes one to many on a Instagram story, I'm offering something of value, something that's changed my life, something that's changed my client's life, things like a hypnosis, a podcast. Sometimes you get a voice note. Maybe it's a chapter of a book, an audio chapter, or my whole book. I used to give away the whole Millionaire Mum, the whole audio book. So people would listen to that and really start to decipher and decide whether I was the coach and we are the community for them. So from the contribution, there's a check-in. Please do not follow people up. They don't like to be chased and it's just a shitty feeling all around. So don't ever have that feeling of like, oh, following someone up and I've got to lock them in. It's just like a genuine check-in. Hey, how are you going? Pure presence, no pressure. I sent you this. Have you listened? What's your favorite part? What part didn't you like? Is there anything that resonated with you? Just a genuine check-in, no expectation. So don't even expect a reply half the time. Most people do reply, but some people don't, and that's fine. And then number 5 is call. So you can choose this or not, depending on your business model. Do you want to call with people? So if you're selling, you know, a $3,000 to $15,000 product, possibly you need a call. I don't. I sell plenty of $15,000 products without a call because I follow the process and people feel so seen, heard, held, and structured that by the time they get to the point where I'm offering to them, they know who I am. They've already experienced a bit of the magic and they're feeling a full body yes straight away. So call's not always required, but just depending on your business model and the way that you want things to go, you get to choose that for your business. So after the call, if you choose to have one, or the check-in, number 6 is convert. This is where most people will fluff around the edges and carry on. But if you've done this process well, by the time you are making the offer clearly and confidently, you don't need to be pushy. It's very powerful. It's just a very confident, clear conversation of, I've got this for you. This is what it costs. This is what's included. Are you interested? I know that I can help you with this. I've seen this work in action at the retreats or with people that I've coached with in the past. In my own personal experience, I know this product can help you. Do you want it? You're offering an activation, a new timeline. And then number 7 is celebrate. So basically, whether they say yes, you celebrate them. And I actually have a column for this on my Techmatics account as I go through, and I move the person, whoever's purchased, whether it's a $22 product or a $20,000 product, I put them in the celebrate channel and I actually allocate time to celebrating the courage, the boldness, the activation, the up level, the commitment of the woman or man. We work with men now in our mixed retreats, of the human that made the decision, and honoring their decision, honoring the leap and the person behind the yes. feeling that. And then what happens when you work with us long term? So we anchor in that celebration and the success of the yes or of the no. So it actually feels the same in your body. It's not like, oh, I'm a good person if I made sales and I'm a bad person if I didn't make sales. It's like someone's been through this whole process with me. If it's felt right and ready for them, they've said yes, great, it feels good. If they say no, close the loop, great, it feels good. And you just carry on and close the loop. And I'll say to people sometimes, I'm going to keep messaging you until you give me a yes or a no because the loop energetically is still open. And this is something important. I talk about it in the roadmap. Some people will say yes, but I'm hearing no. Like they're saying yes simply because they don't know how to say no, or they don't have fear of missing out. I've actually said no to some people that have said yes because their voice says yes. And what they say is yes, but I'm feeling like, oh, it's a different reason, and vice versa. Some people will say no. I've had this happen so many times. They tell me no, and I hear the no, but I don't feel the no. So I will also have that conversation with the relevant people and say, hey, I know you told me no, but I'm not feeling that. Are you genuinely feeling that? Or can we work together to make this happen for you? That's not about being pushy. That's listening to your intuition. I've only ever probably done that 3 times. And every single time someone has had a large investment with me after that, they've come back after spending the money and doing the course or whatever it is I've offered and said, thank you so much. Thank you so much for not taking my first no. And that can take a lot of courage because of, the slimy, greasy salespeople that we've met along the way. It's not about pressure. You just got to tune into your intuition and listen and have courage to hold yourself to that standard to speak your truth. So yeah, that can happen as well. So you want to celebrate, and then when you've worked with us for a period of time and you're in the membership, what happens is we take the celebration that we've anchored in your body through this process, and I give you a divine hypnotics that then builds on that experience. It's called Celebrate Your Success into Reality. And then we have the divine hypnotics on it. I have coaching on it. So we're literally anchoring, rewiring your brain, anchoring into your body and connecting to your being, that the fuel sitting underneath your sails is celebration, regardless of the yes or the no. And oh my Lord, it's so extremely powerful. I think I just would love everyone to have access to this, but once again, you've got to choose it. So, ladies, this is how we do Rich Lady Revolution sales. Sacred sales. It's clean, as you can feel, it's very clean. It's clear, and it's clearly looking at the results. It's very magnetic, and people feel good. They feel seen. They feel heard. They feel held. And as the salesperson or as the person offering the opportunity, it also feels very clean, clear, and exciting because it's an opportunity. So I want to remind you that sales, it's not a pitch, it's a portal for you to meet the new identity of you and hold the activation of the people that you're inviting on this journey with you to shift timelines and really claim something else for themselves, their life, their business, their family, their health, whatever it is that's important to them, and whatever it is that you sell. So we dive deeper into this process, as I've mentioned a few times in the Rich Lady Roadmap, where I'll give you more detail on the how. I've really covered what it is and a little bit of the how, but I'll go through the signature framework on this process that, like I said, has created me personally hundreds of thousands of dollars. Actually, need to probably change that to millions. And collectively, when you add up all the sales that we've done, my clients have done, the people that have used this process done, it is definitely millions of dollars in sacred sales. So you got to remember that it doesn't stop here. In the Rich Lady Roadmap, we go through a somatic sales activation. And I recorded that yesterday, and it's freaking next level amazing. It doesn't stop with the mindset or structure. We go deeper into the body. So you're going to receive that if you're part of the roadmap, the somatic sales activation, a divine hypnotics style guided practice that helps you rewire your body to feel safe in selling. Because I've said this many different ways through the podcast, but sales is a nervous system game. You will not out earn or outsell your self-worth. And if by some miracle you do, it won't be sustainable and long term. You'll self-sabotage it, you'll crumble, and you'll hit rock bottom again. So you've got to upgrade your landing gear. That's why we have the membership in place, because every single week we're upgrading it. We're upgrading it. You're being supported. You're being supported. You're being directed. You're being held. So what happens is most of us are carrying old wounding around being seen, heard, or paid. So we remove that, and the activation will anchor you into your power. It's going to ground your energy, and it reminds your body once again that it's safe to be seen, it's safe to sell, and it's safe to receive. So those of you that are in the Rich Lady roadmap, you'll find that activation waiting for you in the portal. Do it before your next sales convo, and you will, I promise you, feel the shift immediately. And even if you don't have any sales conversations booked in, just get on and do it, and you'll probably have some book in pretty quickly. So finally, coming close to the end of the podcast, I've got to go grab the kids. The being part of this module in the Rich Lady Roadmap, because you can do the mindset and you can regulate your body, but until you allow yourself to be seen, be witnessed, it's not fully integrated into the new identity yet. So I utilize the community for a safe place to practice. This is why this module ends with the witness me practice. You're invited to post a 1 to 2 minute video in the Redefining Rich Facebook group, where you speak directly to your soul client, share your offer, and claim how it changed lives. Now, on the membership call today, I took them through a version of this process, and several of them got on and did this live. They were crapping their ducks. That poo and spew moment where you feel like you don't know whether you need a bowl or a toilet because you feel like it's going to come out both ends. And they did it anyway. And guess what? Several of them have also made sales. So from being totally petrified, not even knowing what they're selling them, some of them when they first got on the call, to being on a 90-minute call, have created a product or an affiliate program and links, and are getting paid cash money by the end of the day. So that's how we utilize the community, because we all want to see each other do really well. So some of you are going to make sales immediately. That's what happens when you step into our world. Things change, and they change very quickly. You've got to prepare yourself for it. We have a whole community waiting to hear from you and support you and buy what you have to offer if it aligns with them and it's something they need and it's going to solve a problem for them. They will hand their money over faster than you can say sacred sales. Only if you, not me, you actually have the courage to offer it. Otherwise, people don't know about it. So, beautiful lady, this is your visibility invitation and your initiation. Please remember, it is not about perfection. It's about permission. It's about standing in your leadership and being witnessed as the woman who sells with soul. I want to let you know I see you, and we will hold you and we will cheer, be your loudest cheerleaders. I will hold your hand when you need hand holding and a hug. I will also kick your ass when you need a kick in the ass. That's the kind of coach I am. Sometimes the central nervous system really just needs to calm the F down and relax and need some tender, loving care. Other times you just need that good, swift kick in the butt to do the thing that you said you were going to do. So I am very gifted at being able to pinpoint what women need in the moment and meeting them where they're at, which is why we get such insane, outrageous, incredible, fast, sustainable, long-term sustainable results. So if you are a woman and you want these kind of results, you want this community, you want to have both profit and peace, then now might be the time to reach out. Go to the show notes, have a look at the Rich Lady Roadmap. If you're already in the roadmap, seriously consider the Rich Lady Revolution, the membership, which is only $150 a month, and you're going to get all the group coaching calls, all the support, all the accountability buddies, and so much more. Thank you for joining me. So looking forward to it. And boom, time to go pick my kiddies up from school. Wow, what an episode. Now, here's the thing. Knowledge is power, but action is where the magic happens. So if today's episode has lit a fire in your belly and you are ready to take this to the next level, cut the crap and do the thing to be the woman you were born to be, then I've got something special for you. Join us on the coaching couch. It will be an exclusive front row seat to the conversations, breakthroughs, and strategies that are helping women just like you up-level their income, their impact, and their whole entire life. This is your chance to experience what it's like to be fully supported and deeply connected with a world-class coach and community of high-caliber women who get it, who get you. It's where you'll get a taste of our unmarketable magic, real life strategies, and the kind of high level conversations that will catapult you into the next level of success without the burnout. It's free for you, it's powerful, and it's waiting right now. So if you are serious about stepping into your rich lady identity, head over to www.thosetwosisters.com and secure your spot on the coaching couch now. Trust me, your future self will thank you for it.